Our next story, the Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has said that he will negotiate with Donald Trump on a US-backed peace plan that called on Ukraine to make concessions in order to end the Russia-Ukraine conflict. The White House claimed that Washington took into confidence both the parties before proposing the peace plan. The European Union also says that it would support the peace plan if it brings a lasting and just peace. Raghav Kumar Jha reports.
After talks with a top U.S. Army official on Thursday, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said he was ready to work with Washington on a plan to end the war in Ukraine, and he expects to discuss it with President Donald Trump in coming days.
Since the first days of the war, we have taken one extremely simple position. Ukraine needs peace, and a real peace, one that will not be broken by a third invasion, a dignified peace, so that the conditions are with respect for our independence, our sovereignty, and the dignity of the Ukrainian people. And we must ensure these very conditions.
Under the widely leaked plan, Kyiv would cede significant areas of Donetsk region of eastern Ukraine that it still controls, cut the size of its army, and pledge not to join NATO, proposals it has previously ruled out. The plan says Ukraine would have to limit its army to 600,000 troops and that it would receive robust security guarantees without providing further details. It makes several concessions to Russia, including that Crimea, Luhansk, and Donetsk will be recognized as de facto Russian territories by the United States. As per reports, Russia would be readmitted to the G8 group and receive sanctions relief. The White House has pushed back on claims that Ukraine was not involved in the drafting of the plan. The White House press secretary, Karoline Leavitt, said that the U.S. administration is having good conversations with both parties on how to end the conflict.
So they have been engaged with both sides, and these talks are continuing. As always, I'm not going to litigate the details of this plan as it's ongoing and it's in flux, but the president supports this plan. It's a good plan for both Russia and Ukraine, and we believe that it should be acceptable to both sides, and we're working very hard to get it done.
So far, EU has not officially received the 28-point US proposal to stop the Ukraine war. However, EU's foreign policy chief, Kaja Kallas, said on Friday that the European Union would support any peace plan for Ukraine as long as it brings a lasting and just peace, and if it involves Ukraine and the EU.
As for the peace plan we understand that President Zelensky has been presented with, we have always said that any peace plan to work, it has to be with Ukraine and with the Europeans on board.
On the other hand, German Foreign Minister Johann Waderfull said on Friday that he sees a US-backed plan to end the war in Ukraine as a list of issues that need to be urgently discussed between Ukraine and Russia, but underlined that it was not a final plan. Raghav Kumar Jha's report for DD India.